740 on your hometown station, KHTS Hometown Morning Show with Tori and Kyle.
Make sure you go
to hometownstation.com for all the latest and greatest Santa Clarita has to offer. Speaking of the greatest, we have a very special guest in studio.
every Tuesday morning, but
So
she's
it's
still
super
special.
She's super special. We have Jaimie Ronchetto from Cinema Vet talking puppies, dogs, and maybe any other type of animal you want to talk about.
What's better than a puppy?
2 puppies.
Right. Jaimie.
Hi, Jaimie. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you guys?
We're doing great. It's Tuesday. Monday's in the rear view, so it's only
good.
Yeah, it's good from here. Let's talk puppies. Let's talk puppies, and let's talk. Summer vacations are coming up.
Yes.
And you want to travel with the dog. My dog gets a little bit anxious in the car, whines a little bit, and there might be a little shaking.
Sure.
There might be a little shaking here and there. And it's funny because once we hit the freeway, she calms down and then she lays down. But local roads, as soon as we come either, on the on-ramp or then off the ramp, she's shaking again and whining. How do we travel with dogs? There was that terrible incident with that was it a bulldog puppy?
Yeah, a little French bulldog puppy.
On the airline where the couple, I guess about a month or so ago, then the flight attendant, I guess, put the puppy in the overhead.
Right.
Which you never do, right?
No, obviously, no. You never want to do that because there's not enough oxygen there. So the poor thing did pass away during the flight. So yeah, I think it's important to kind of talk about what to expect when you travel, whether it be by car or by plane with your pet. So certainly if you're traveling by car, it always helps if they're used to going with you. So every dog is going to be a little bit anxious or excited, hopefully, like a good excited to be in the car. If they're fearful, which some dogs are, that, maybe they don't go a lot of places and they only go to the vet when they're in the car. So they're going to associate that, to help sort of desensitize them. If you have time, you could start taking them just on little jaunts around town and take them right back home. That might help them to not be so fearful. Certainly there are sedatives, medications we can use to kind of keep them calmer. Everything from, more natural remedies to stronger medications if it's really that intense.
Is there a doggy Valium or Xanax?
Yes. Yes,
Stop
there
it.
is.
Really? Okay.
Absolutely, there
Okay.
is. Yeah, and sometimes we do need to use those kinds of things so they just stay calmer, and then that way they're not going to potentially get too wound up that they hurt themselves, or you in the car. It's always best if they're restrained in some way. So
Let's talk about the restraint,
Yeah.
Dr. Jaimie, because I see a lot of things going on around town,
So
and
do
I
I.
think it's, I don't know the legalities of it. Maybe you can help me. I see anything from a dog being in the back of a pickup truck, wandering around, like not restrained.
Right.
I see dogs, hanging out the open window, like really hanging out. I see drivers with the little dogs in the lap.
Right.
Tell me what should we do for both safety and legality purposes here when we're
Yeah.
traveling in a car?
None of those are good.
Got it.
Let's start with that. If they're going to be in the back of a car, like in the back of a pickup, they need to really be in a crate, and then the crate tied down. That's the only safe way to do it. If they're in the car, again, the best would be to be in a crate in the car. Otherwise, they do have special like seat belts to clamp to their harness or their leash somehow so that they're still restrained. That's the safest for them. I know that it's fun for them to put their head out the window. Obviously, they like the wind in their face and lots of smells and things like that. But there's a lot of debris in the road. So going that fast where their little cheeks are flapping in the wind, I do always worry that they could get something in their eye. The wind going by, there's little pebbles and dust and things like that. Something could get to their face, cause damage, or, God forbid you get in a fender bender and they're hanging out the window, they could really get injured. Dogs and cats I've seen and heard of being in the owner's lap while the owner drives. The worry there is, again, if you get in a fender bender, they're already there. Should your airbag deploy, they're going to get smushed. Airbags are not meant to save animals. So a lot of times they can cause more damage than anything else for them. So again, being restrained somewhere in a different area would be safer for them.
And plus, let's just drive.
Right.
Can we
you
have
need
two
to
hands
concentrate on driving.
Yeah, 2 hands on the wheel, people.
And again, there's always that chance that they get under your foot, if they're moving all over the place. They could get underfoot and get in your way, and then you could get into an accident. So.
I think why we do stuff like that, I don't think we do it maliciously.
No.
I think we do it because the dog looks like they're having so much fun hanging their head out the window. They love that breeze, but like you said, it can be dangerous. And holding the puppy in your lap while you're driving, it seems like a fun thing to do, and lovable too. You just love your dog so much, and we do, but we have to be like children. We have to, you wouldn't do that with your child. You wouldn't let your child hang their head out the window and let the breeze, right? And you wouldn't hold your baby in your lap while you're driving. Right. So we have to treat these animals like we would treat a child for safety purposes. Not that we don't love them, it's because we do love them.
You need to do the responsible thing and kind of think about safety.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
We got to do the adulting thing.
Yes.
Dr. Jaimie, what about flying?
Flying. So, a lot of prep work should go into taking your pet on an airplane. Many airlines will require a health certificate, and so you need to plan accordingly because you need to come into the vet's office and make sure they're all up to date with their vaccines and get your health certificate within 10 days of flying. So that's something to keep in mind. If they are small enough to be in the same area as you and fit under your seat, then that's exactly where they go, is under your seat. They don't go anywhere else.
But they have to be able to stand, yes? Is that yes, no?
They just have to, the carrier that they're in needs to comfortably fit under the seat. So they don't necessarily have to be able to stand in their carrier. They can,
okay,
they can lay
good.
down.
Good to know.
So yes, that doesn't leave us a lot of room because there's not a lot of room under there. So the very small animals can fit under your seat. If they can't, then there's no other else that they can go except in cargo. And so they would need, a proper crate for that, and food and water. And they do not recommend, nor do I, sedating pets if they're not going to be with you, because there's nobody there to be watching them all the time, and you're not going to know if something happens. So it's best for them to be alert and awake, even if it's a little bit scary.
Cargo tends to be a little on the chilly side. Do we
Yes.
put a blanket in that crate maybe, or something?
You could give them the option of something warmer to be on. Every airline's going to have their own requirements, so it's best to check with them.
Very good information today. I learned so much, as I always do, every other Tuesday with Dr. Jaimie Ronchetto. If you'd like to go to Cinema Vet, you want to talk to Dr. Jaimie or one of her colleagues, 661-253-9300. Of course, they are located where? Duh, Cinema Drive. Hence, the Cinema Vet.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Always a pleasure. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Learned a lot today. Have a great week.
Thank you.